Friends, Lester here. Yes, friends, it's really me. I'm serious. It's me, Lester. Unfortunately, the first time you're hearing my voice, I am the bearer of some very bad news. It is with a heavy heart that I must let all the friends know that we lost a big part of the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk family earlier this week. The Queen Mother of Canada, a.k.a. Lynn Riddell, a.k.a. Mom, passed away on Saturday, March the 7th, 2026. The show will go on, the nonsense and dramatic comedy will return. Most importantly, the verbal diarrhea, a term coined by Lynn Riddell, will be back in full force. The Queen Mother wouldn't have wanted it any other way. But first, Colin has asked me to read something he wrote regarding his mother and her untimely passing. Someone who I don't know once said everyone is born to be something, whether it be a doctor, construction worker, baseball player, whatever. Everyone is born to be something, and when you realize what you were born to do, 9 times out of 10, chances are you will succeed at it. I cannot stress enough just how much Lynn Riddell was born to be a mother. I don't know exactly at what point in her life she realized it. I'm guessing at a very young age. But what I can let you know is just how much she succeeded at it. As young developing children, all we want is to feel loved and to feel safe. Lynn Riddell provided both. From breakfast in the morning before school, being there when we came home at lunch, to after school, dinner, and finally a goodnight story, reset and repeat the following day, all done with pride, joy, and most importantly, love. Not to mention the partnership with Dad, sharing the roles of Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, birthday party event planner, and of course the role of the ever-elusive Tooth Fairy. Everyone knows just how special Lynn Riddell was, not only as a mother, wife, best friend, mother-in-law, quilter, professional seamstress of ripped jeans, spokeswoman for the fact of the day, master creator of the single greatest turkey stuffing ever, virtuoso in the delicate art of Christmas goodies, expert miniatures creator. The list goes on, but one stands alone above them all. Giver of love. The passing of a loved one always brings grief. That's just part of the deal. Perhaps no greater grief are we to feel in life than the grief we feel from losing a parent. Is it because a parent's love is the first true love we feel when we enter this world? Is it because no matter how much we learn, we mature, how much we grow older, deep down a part of us is still that child needing that feeling of love and needing to feel safe? It's all of that and much more. How do we deal with this grief? I think the best way we can heal and at the same time show the world how special our parents are to us is to just continue being ourselves. For we as the children of our parents are the direct reflection of not only who our parents are or were, but what types of values, ethics, compassions, beliefs, and most importantly, love that was instilled in us by them. I'd like to think by continuing to do that, continue being who we are, our parents will always live on. I'd like to end with this. Someone who I don't know did once say, everyone is born to be something. That is true, but maybe more importantly, everyone is born to be someone. Lynn Riddell wasn't just born to be something, she was born to be someone, and that someone was a mother, the best mother.
Friends, I've trimmed the beard and the double chin is very much present. As is that man over there on my right. His name is Lester, okay? Friends, quite the introduction. I didn't really know any other way to do it because I would have gotten through it, I'm guessing, but I figured it would be a good time for Lester to have his voice heard. So that's the way we did it. It's been 11 days, and we're here to have fun, Lester. Friends, okay? Mom would have wanted it that way. We can't be doom and gloom all the time. And not that I have been, I mean I have, but if I've learned anything from the past few days is a couple of things. One, I'm handling this a lot better than I thought I would. And two, if I could, the shirt's not getting any tighter. if I could implore, I haven't said that one, Lester, throw it up. If I could implore you with some advice upon losing a loved one, it would be this. Just imagine that whoever has passed away is sitting beside you or around you, okay? What would they say? What would they say to you? The amount of grief you're feeling right now is equal to how much you knew that person, how much that person was important to you in your life, okay? So I know that Mom would be lighting a cigarette, having a latte, and joking around with me and saying, Colin, you're doing fine. You're looking out for Johnny. I don't think she would call him Johnny. You're looking out for Dad. You're holding up good. Okay, listen. I know my mother loved me, and my mother knew that I loved her, okay? And as long as you know that, okay? Guys, it's okay. Yes, it's hard, but just imagine they're still in the room. Okay, so, and on top of that, it's like they're in the room, but they know they've passed on. Okay, what would they say? Okay? Am I saying okay a lot, Lester? Probably. Have I thanked Lester for reading those words? Again, I've re-recorded this several times. Guys, Colin from Canada,
real bad man,
is back with his man Lester. John Riddell is there. Good coffee is always free. Kurt Cobain, how are you, buddy? Amcan Connection, single greatest tag team walking the earth today. King of YouTube, I am. There's the crown to prove it. My tag team partner is my tag team partner. I forgot to mention this part. Over at the pen is taped as not to touch. The defending champion is the Swedish chef. I'm nowhere near hitting it. His gold is there. He wears it around his waist. And of course, lastly, the honorary Academy Award for all-around greatness from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. Okay? Lester, we're getting into it, guys, okay? Really bad beginning, but we got to carry on, guys. Mom would have wanted it that way. And I'm still pondering whether or not that man down there will be taking over conversational Scottish, okay? Lynn was very adamant when he was honing in on the action. I don't know. I think he might, okay? Let's go to the quote. We're going for the characters like we did last time, Ray. This time it's Cheryl, okay? This is from episode 4. Read along if you'd like to. I'm not the rancher. I'm not the rancher's wife. I'm not the rancher's kid. Not that I couldn't have been. That's not the path I chose, was it? My ex-husband is the killer. And newsflash, he's not dead. We're gonna throw that up back here, you guys. Okay? We must, first off, okay, there it is. You know it. You know it. Words aren't even needed at this point, Lester. They know. Okay. Oh, well, we're losing it. No, we're not. We're not. We're lowering, and that. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Ladies, if you've been instantly turned on by what I just did, I apologize. Perhaps I should have warned you. I'm about to do it again. I've done it again. I didn't warn them, Lester, but they should realize if they're... I won't go into details. Ladies, you know how you feel right now. Eye contact. Friends, how have you been? We won't ask how I've been. We deal with... I think the Riddells deal with death with humor. Should I let it go? Okay. Forget about my double chin and the fact that this shirt has been stretched. And I hate it when a shirt gets stretched, Lester. We've talked about it. The friends know. I need a tight collar. I can't... I'm veering, Lester. And let me just say this, guys. We don't have to talk to Lester. I'm talking to you guys. I was thinking about the filming of this episode and just how weird or odd it might be. And I thought, how in the world is the Colin from Canada caffeine going to be initiated? I thought it was going to be one of these but nobody wants to tune in to Gloomy Gus, aka Colin from Canada.
Real bad man.
Because he's not gloomy, my friends, okay? It's all the way you look at it, and we are, yes, Mike D, pushing forward, okay? And I did I say ceremonial first sip? And I probably talked right over it. Lester, my mind is elsewhere. Getting back to what I was saying. We in the Riddell family deal with death with humor. I would assume that's the Scottish way. So I'll tell you a story, and this is how we help each other unintentionally. The service for Mom was last Saturday, and just very few people. And there has to be an identification of the loved one. So my brother and I didn't really want to see Mom in that way. So Dad went in and identified, and then they closed the casket, and then everybody came in and we did our service. So Dad, legend, John Riddell, knows that I didn't want to see Mom like that, okay? I sit down beside him. The very first thing he says to me is he turns to me and says, her hands were purple. Yeah. So it was something I didn't want to hear, but it was so hilarious and so amazingly John Riddell that I had to laugh. And it made everything a lot easier because all I could think about was the first thing him saying was, her hands were purple. That's how the Riddells do it, folks. I'm back, and the verbal diarrhea and comedic, say it again, reverse it, dramatic comedy is back. Lester, I think it's time to start the festivities.
This guy positively, physically is in Hogan's category.
This is obviously the introduction to 5 cassettes and 5 Davids, a point in the show where I ramble about literally nothing. So let's take this opportunity to tell you a story about Queen Mother of Canada when we went to Scotland the second time. We went to a quiz night at a pub. Those are big in the UK, the pub quizzes. And I was buying my mom red wine all night. What I didn't realize I was doing was I was buying her large red wines all night. So it was like a bloody goblet. It was a pretty big thing of wine, and she had 3 or 4 of them. And by the, let me preface this by saying it was $1 or £1 to enter the quiz night or pub quiz. And if she said it once, she must have said it 15 times. This is the best pound we've spent the whole trip. She was having a good time. She was having a good time with that pub quiz and those 4 large red wines. Guys, it's time for 5 VHS and 5 DVDs. Power Karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. Right into it, guys. Perfect car, perfect girl, perfect murder, almost. Corey Haim, Dream Machine. Barry Davis is a college freshman with a passion for a certain silver Porsche Turbo Cabriolet and for an incredibly exquisite creature named Robin. In one day, his dream suddenly turns into stark reality. It all began the morning he was tuning Margot Chamberlain's grand piano, and she received the news her husband was having a torrid love affair. Just 2 weeks ago, she had given him the ultimate adult toy, the silver Porsche, but no more. This gift would be more appreciated by Barry. After all, he did such a nice job tuning the piano. But Barry has yet to discover that stuffed in the trunk is the crumpled corpse of the cheating husband, and that Harper, the fumbling accidental murderer, will go to any lengths to retrieve the incriminating evidence. The stage is now set for tingling suspense, mistaken identities, narrow escapes, and wild chases amid total chaos. Barry is after Robin. Harper wants the Porsche's contents. Barry continually ducking his fraternity brothers. Margot Chamberlain has become a missing person, and everyone wonders why the silver turbocharged dream machine is beginning to smell. When the fairy tale ends, the nightmare begins. Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, friends? This bad boy is 91 minutes and came out in the year of 1996. Okay? From the director of Night Eyes, When the Terror Begins, Halloween Night. Okay? Strange things are happening in Tommy's seemingly perfect town. A bloody pitchfork is found beside a mutilated corpse. Dark chanting permeates the night chill. A deranged man warns of murder and madness, graves are robbed, and an ancient evil is about to be unleashed on the most devilish day and night of all, Halloween. Enter into a world of black secrets, revenge, and death. Spine-chilling suspense, shocking revelation, and the ultimate terror of all are about to be revealed. When the sun goes down and the wind begins to howl, it is the season of the witch and the night of the devil. It is the unspeakable fear of Halloween night. Thank you very much. Nicole Eggert, The Demolitionist. I would read the back, but the only description is Richard Grieco's goatee. Did I mention Richard Grieco's in it along with Nicole Eggert? You guys know about Nicole Eggert. And you know about Richard Grieco. So there's nothing to read. I can tell you it came out in 1995 and it goes for an hour and 33 minutes. Richard Grieco. Finally, not sure why they came out with this. When I purchased it, I thought it was a movie because they did have movies. David Hasselhoff, Baywatch, River of No Return. So young Colin, who is a fan of not only the ladies on Baywatch, but that gentleman in the background, David Hasselhoff, Colin thought this was a movie. But guess what? It's season 3, episode 1 of Baywatch. So who cares? Those were the VHS. These are the Davids. Your roach problem just got a lot worse. They crawl. A computer whiz named Bean is among several people found dead with strange striations, odd puncture wounds, and missing internal organs. Bean's brother Ted teams up with the detective Gina to get to the bottom of it. With the help of a computer hacker, they find a blueprint that reveals the killer who has been terrorizing the city. A rampaging posse of genetically mutated cockroaches. 88 minutes. I'm going to say 2001. Possibly 2002. You guys know it. You guys love it. It's part of your youth. It's 1986. You're Josh Brolin, and you're starring in Thrashin'. Okay, guys? Let's read this one, too. He's in for the ride of his life. Valley teen Corey Webster just wants to ride his skateboard in peace. But when his hot romance with a beautiful blonde puts him on the skids with her brother and his vicious skate punk gang, the bitter rivalry can only be settled one way. A brutal winner-take-all downhill competitive requiring gut, skill, and nerves of steel. Does Josh Brolin have nerves of steel? Lester, I don't know yet. Possible episode title. It might be something related more to Mom. I think she takes precedent over Josh Brolin. Piranha Double D, or Piranha DD, however you want to pronounce it. And I just need to look at the cast of characters I'm looking at back here, folks. Gary Busey, Christopher Lloyd, special appearance by David Hasselhoff. Prepare for double the action, double the terror, and double the D's. The prehistoric school of bloodthirsty piranhas are back, and this time no one is safe from the flesh-eating fish as they sink their razor-sharp teeth into the visitors of summer's best attraction, the Big Wet Water Park. Starring Danielle Pennebaker, Matt Bush, David Koechner, Chris Zylka, Katrina Bowden, Gary Busey, Christopher Lloyd, and David Hasselhoff. 83 minutes, not even going for an hour and a half, and 2011. No one can hear them sting, tails sting. Sometimes science goes seriously wrong. Dr. Jennifer Ryan never imagined that her genetically enhanced scorpions would terrorize the formerly friendly skies. When her creations break out of their cryogenic jails and begin whipping deadly stingers into their victims, Dr. Ryan must organize a battle against the ravenous monsters and guide the crippled plane safely to LAX. The voracious killers with the vicious queen as their leader wage a bloody war against the humans, where only the strongest will survive. See who prevails in this must-see terror trip, Tail Sting. Not stopping. Guys, this was a real treat when I found this in stores. It is someone's first major motion picture. As my grandmother once said, he's a big hulking brute. Guys, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Hercules in New York, okay? Bored with Mount Olympus, Hercules decides to visit Earth against the will of his father, Zeus. Zeus explodes with anger and hurls a thunderbolt at Hercules, who plummets into the sea and is rescued by a freighter bound for New York. There he is befriended by Pepsi, who whisks him away from a brawling free-for-all with his shipmates. The plot thickens as Zeus' jealous wife Juno sends the dreaded nemesis to take away Hercules' godlike strength. Some local hoodlums have just bet a small fortune on Hercules in a weightlifting competition, and when he fails to win, a chase all over New York is on. Fun fact about Hercules in New York, originally recorded with Arnold saying the lines, after the rewatch, not happening. The English just wasn't there. But on this particular release, if you can look down here, featuring Arnold's original audio track. So would you like to listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger in broken English as Hercules around New York? Or would you like the audio dubbed by some other guy who talked for Arnold? The choice is yours. Guys, that was 5 from the pile. Cassettes and Davids.
Well, the tide is shifted to Hogan right now.
Friends, when the council members need a refresher course on what exactly it is that they do for the community, there is one woman who will make sure that they know, more pauses, exactly what their job is. Guys, it's time for Cheryl.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? Now, I'm trying to give Jeff some, we know I don't like Jeff, so I'm trying to cut him some slack. So now listen, people like that get tired of begging. You guys are the city government. You work for us. We do not work for you.
Friends, as you can imagine, it's been a pretty crazy 2 weeks, and still got it. I should have coughed. I know. Yes, it's been a pretty crazy 2 weeks. It's been a crazy, pretty 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks that have been crazy and pretty. Whew, she's hitting, Lester. The last 2 weeks have been a bit crazy. And I did actually go to the thrift store to take my mind off what was going on, which was kind of ironic because half the time I'm either with my girlfriend or my mother when I'm at the thrift store. So the thrift store kind of reminds me of mom. Getting to my point, I got a lot of crap from the thrift store considering what has been happening the last 2 weeks. Let's go take a look what I bought. It was rocky, but we'll keep it, Lester. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Okay, might stop wearing this shirt and just hang it up in the background. We're turning to the left, folks. Let's start with the books. Drive-by shootings, photographs by a New York taxi driver. This is a big, big photo book with stories and such, okay? The 1976 psychological assessment of Ted Bundy. Now, Ted went to trial in Florida, and he went to trial in Utah. Utah's where he escaped, forgive me, but this was the psychological assessment done on him by, I assume, a court-appointed psychologist, Al Carlisle. Haven't really figured out what this is, but if it's a Ted Bundy book, I like to take a gander. Doctor Who, A History of the Universe in 100 Objects. So you got, have I seen one episode of Doctor Who? Nope. But I do have the whole series downloaded, yes, all the way back to the, yes. And don't fiddle with the price, Colin. There's a lot of, Lester, there's a lot of items here. I can't be peeling off the prices on everything when I got 8 million things to go through. More books, real simple. We didn't do it, The Family Circus. And Dennis the Menace, Sunrise Express. Okay? Books are done. We're going to move to the CDs. Rough House Records Greatest Hits. So you got the Cypress Hill, Criss Cross, Lauryn Hill, Fugees, Nas, Wyclef, right there. This, I didn't think I would ever find in CD form. Raga Jungle Anthems, Volume 1. I have been listening to this compilation for years on downloaded MP3s. Never really believed it was an actual CD. If you can get your grubby mitts on this, get your grubby mitts on this. This is definitely one that it's going to be the whole episode, Lester. But you know what the good thing is? You know what I'm doing with this? I'm fiddling. So, we're probably going to see those fiddlers and that dance that you guys know and love multiple times during this episode, Lester. Getting back to this, Raga Jungle Anthems, Volume 1. I'm going to put in the description a link to YouTube that probably has this whole CD, and you're going to listen to it and say, first you're going to say, what the hell is this? And then you're going to say, hello. Colin from Canada
Real bad man.
has guided me down the right path, and my ears and my heart thank him. John Prine, we talked about him last time, heard good things about him, never listened to him, and this was another CD from the same thrift store as probably the other ones that I bought. See, I'm trapped. Much like the pen I'm not supposed to be playing with, the price tags have got me in a hurting, Lester. The Roots of Soul Review. Just Booker T and the MGs, James Brown, Sam and Dave, Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding, The Impressions, Al Green, Percy Sledge, Fontella Bass, Jackie Wilson, The Impressions, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Etta James, The Staple Singers, Curtis Mayfield.
Struggling.
I tripped over that one. Thelonious Monk and John Coltrane, The Complete Riverside Recordings, April to July 1957. It's a double disc collection. What was this? This is Mashed. So we have like Peggy Lee versus Iggy Pop, Blondie versus The Doors, Elastica versus Moloko, Malcolm McLaren versus Franz Ferdinand. So 2 songs get mashed up, and you'll take a gamble on that. Jerky Boys 4. Pretty sure I have this, but the mind, you can't, much like the war, you can't leave a soldier behind. Am I comparing leaving a soldier behind in battle to leaving jerky boys at the Value Village for $2? You're goddamn right I am. You cannot leave something you think you need even though you might have it behind. You have to buy it and then go home and realize you already have it. 4 compact discs, 100 golden oldies. Now, we've talked about it, Lester, multiple times, and we will continue to now. You have to be very wary of that these are not re-recorded versions of the songs. And I don't think Pop Records has the license to, yeah. We'll take a listen, but Lester, I'm afraid they might be not original recordings. Lastly, IR10 Indigenous Dublands, okay? My girlfriend is Native, and she has turned me on to Native or Indigenous music. So anytime I see something like this, although recorded in Jamaica, interesting. Oh, and other places. Anyways, this was sealed, and it's $2. You take a gamble, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That joke will never die. It'll never live either. Davids in video games, Bad Girls Go to Hell, Latin Dragon, Lorenzo Lamas, I don't need to say anything else, Insurrection, and when you see these Wii games in the thrift store, you guys know there's a bit of value there. Wii Sports Resort, or actually just Wii Sports. This might be Resort. I don't know. It says Wii Sports. I don't think that's Resort. Either one, they're both worth something. Anyways. Oh, Colin, what have you done? Guys, we're doing it right here and now. Okay, well, we have Wii Sports Resort in the Mario Kart one, and Wii Sports alone, meaning we don't have a Mario Kart. That's okay, they were $3 each. So, for $9, I got Super Mario with the disc, Wii Sports Resort with the disc, Wii Sport disc without the thing, and a case for Mario Kart, which I already have 3 of. Guys, you're on the edge of your seats. Lester, alert them. Let them know. Lean back. You're gonna fall off the couch, bed, or seat, or whatever the hell you're watching me on because I got jacked by not looking into the Wii thing. Still coughing. We're gonna go to it. 8 minutes, Lester. We're approaching 8 minutes. Goddamn, that's still cold. Board games, Z-Pocalypse. You know it, million pieces instruction manual, but my girlfriend loves the idea of the zombie apocalypse. Perhaps she'll play that game with me. Here's one she won't play with me. Full Count Baseball. Sports board games are the best, especially baseball games and golf games. You'll be surprised how cool those are. Something for my partner over at the, right? AmCan Connection. The 1991 WWF Superstars calendar. And if I look in here, it has not been written on, which is very good. American Dream. He's just a common man. Okay, VHS. I went a little berserk with the VHS. But there were so many unique titles, and they're either $1 or $2 each. So the sky is the limit. Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead. Colin, you already have that on VHS and probably DVD. I do, but that's $2, and there's a good chance it's worth more than $2. Also, this one is worth more than $2. You guys know it, Hamburger the Movie. Do I have this on VHS? Yes, I do, Lester. But the older ones from the 80s, they garner a bit of value, at least more than $2, guys. And you say to yourself, Colin, when are you gonna sell it? Never.
You are correct, sir, yes.
Now, here's some VHS I don't have. 25 amazing magic tricks with a stripper deck. Mastered in Minutes Video Library. That's the name of the company. We have more from them. Amazing magic tricks with everyday objects. Mastered in Minutes Video Library. Okay? I should have put these in order before I started. Are there any more magic ones? I don't. Oh, yeah, there is. But I think it's from somebody else. The Complete Cups and Balls Michael Amar Volume 1. And you know we're going to zoom in on Michael Amar. A-M-M-A-R. Michael Amar. He is not from the Mastered in Minutes Video Library. He is part of L&L Publishing. Okay? That is the end of the magic cassettes. So, why don't we deal with Body Flex 2 and Body Flex 1, starring your host and mine. What the hell's her name? Where are we? Nope, we're... Oh, here we go. Hold on tight, guys. Her name is Greer Childers. We're getting in there. Okay, get it in there, Colin. Do you see it, guys? With Greer Childers. Okay, that's Body Flex 1 and Body Flex 2. And while I was trying to figure out what this young lassie's name was, it comes with, for optimum results, you can follow along, and then you have a little chart to chart your progress, or progress, however you want to say it. I'm about to cough. Okay, and it comes with a picture so you know you're doing the exercises right. Can I get a zoom in on thigh stretch and ask anyone in their right mind who on earth can do that? But I'm going to attempt it. Probably not. I'm just going to use the clips to make a master montage one day. That's the reason we have these ridiculous VHS titles. Perhaps ceramic tile. Okay? Dare I say it? You can see it. My God, you're blinded by the fact that it's sealed. Okay? Ceramic tile, step-by-step video instructions, brought to you by the leaders in floor tiles, Chevrolet. Okay? Get the floor tiles down, and then hop in your Chevrolet and head on over for a coffee somewhere. Do you go to the Rockefeller Plaza and enjoy the NBC experience on VHS? This guy went there and got the Conan O'Brien's Wild Desk Ride. So you pop that into your VHS player and you see Conan O'Brien's Wild Desk Ride. Available nowhere but at the NBC Rockefeller Plaza in circa probably 1995, because Jay Leno still has The Tonight Show. That was $10 somebody bought that for. I got it for $1. Let's push forward. Amazing video collection, Blazing Infernos, okay? The ultimate in reality video. I'm a bit hoarse. I got a tickle right in the throat, and it's not... Lester, this is taking far too long. We've got to hurry it up here. Family fire safety video. When there's a fire, you got to get your family out, guys. Smart riding on your Arctic Cat ATV rider safety. Martial Arts Canada beginner to black belt requirements. Shikara Jitsu. Shikara, I got it now. I didn't pre-read. Shikara Jitsu, the power of martial art, also includes Shihan's secret techniques. Who's Shihan? That's Shihan. Okay? Healing exercises for seniors with Pat Laster. There's no photo of Pat because you know I would have shown her. Guys, it's more Martial Arts Canada beginner to black belt requirements. Shikara Jitsu, the power of martial art, also includes Shihan's secret technique. Did I buy the same thing? Jesus, Murphy. I think I did. Hold on. No, maybe, no, I know I looked at them. Hold on. This is green belt training video, and this is orange belt training video. Lester, I knew I wouldn't buy the same thing. It's green belt and orange belt. So as I progress with Shihan, I can get different colored belts. Dean Graziasi's same-day kickoff. Get started right away with Dean as your coach. And simple secrets to more cash, over 50 easy ways to raise the value of any home with Dean Graziasi. Let's get a shot of Dean Graziasi. And I know you can tell by the lights sealed. That's about it for thrift store pickups. I believe that was 15 minutes, Lester. Hope you enjoyed.
Big right hand by Hogan, another right hand by Hogan.
Friends, the newsroom is not only the place where anchor people inform you of the latest news, but also a forum for those to perhaps discuss ulterior points of view. I got to it, almost. Yes, a forum to freely discuss differentiating opinions. And most importantly, the newsroom is a place to keep those debates civil. Guys, it's time for this week's hard-hitting news.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered.
But now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
Do the math.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
हरामखोर भी है यहूदी है यहूदी औलाद है तुम लोगों का बाप है तुम्हारा बाप है तुम्हारा बाप है
पकड़ो यार इसको अब एक बार पकड़ो यार पकड़ो यार नहीं पकड़ो पकड़ो नहीं छोड़ दो यार इधर आओ अंदर आओ छोड़ यार छोड़ दे यार छोड़ यार छोड़ बस यार बस यार अफनान नहीं यार नहीं छोड़ इनको एक बार लेगा नहीं यार अफनान
Friends, Pixie, John Riddell, and myself. I keep doing it, Lester. Do I have to say it for the video to appear? We took a trip over to the mighty Canadian Tire because Johnny had a broken knob from a slow cooker. The excitement. I had to stop, Lester. I had to stop mid-sentence because I could feel them. I could feel the excitement because they know that I am about to throw to a clip of John Riddell, the dog, and I going to Canadian Tire to look for a new knob for his slow cooker. Without further ado, Lester, without further ado.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
Friends, Colin from Canada here. John and I are in our favorite store, Canadian Tire, and the knob from his slow cooker is broken. So he said, let's go to Canadian Tire. I think they might have one. And I silently laughed within myself. Bill Withers in the background, lean on me. Anyways, I laughed inside thinking, there's no way on earth we're going to find this. And what did John Riddell pick up just 2 seconds ago? The do-it-yourself appliance repair universal electric and gas range knobs. Now he's gonna check it out here. The laugh that I let out was amazing. Perhaps we could raise it up. You raise me up for a better angle. Merry freaking Christmas. Johnny's got his usual portage sweatshirt on today, and he's growing the beard out, guys. What do you think? Do you guys like the beard? Friends, before I continue, you'll be pleased to know that I've taken my pen while not recording, and I've made a note to myself to get safety pin so I can pin this back as to appear to be a tight collar for future episodes. Thank you. Friends, as you know, it's been 2 weeks since you've seen a brand new episode from this kisser and from that gentleman over there. In that amount of time, I have been able to obtain, through the worst camera on an iPhone 8, we've already talked about it, 5 photos for you to take a look at and perhaps chuckle. Friends, it's time for let's go through my camera roll. So let's go through my camera roll. I'm gonna say that every time, Lester. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating, passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends, let's get to it. First with a brief introduction so you know what I'm talking about. There is a lovely town just outside Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, called Oakville, Ontario, Canada. And it's more of a richer area, and all the kids have cars, and not just the beat up old car that gets handed down like most people. They have the Mercedes or whatnot. Now that's fine, they're successful and they're whatever. But, my God. The girlfriend and I were babysitting Yoda, a black lab.
Struggling.
Lester, do I start again? No, push forward. That's not the move, it's this. We were babysitting Yoda, the black lab, and near the house was a lovely bakery. Very large bakery. It's a strip mall plaza, and the bakery takes up the whole thing, okay? Not the widest of cars on each side to park, but what do they want to do? Friends, I'll give you a moment, but you don't even need a moment, because you know the rage that builds when people do a certain thing in the parking lot. Oh, I hear them, Lester. Hark! They're entering my ear and I hear them. People who reverse into the parking spot because they have a reverse dash cam on their vehicle. When we all know, all the friends, Lester, Cheryl, Ray, Johnny knows, they never would have reversed into a parking spot if they didn't have that goddamn camera. When they didn't have it, never! Okay? And they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. And when you're dealing with a smaller parking lot, friends, we don't have time to, oh, you think you're going in that one? No, I'm going in this one, ass backwards, and I need 3 tries to hit it. It's madness. Friends, tell me, in the comments, I know you won't, is there a speaker that I can put on the front of my car, not only to satisfy my needs, but to make driving with Colin all that much better? Is there? Because I'll buy it. And it would be the gift of all gifts. If someone said, Colin, do you want a complete run of The Wrestler, Inside Wrestling, and Pro Wrestling Illustrated from the beginning until the end? No! I would take a speaker for my car, albeit it better be legal. Allow me to do this because it's for the community that I offer my help and my wisdom. 3 minutes of that. Photo number 1, this is the parking lot of the bakery. Just look at that. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. And notice one of them had to reverse into the spot. Okay, guys? That's just photo number 1, and we're 3 minutes in, Lester. It's gonna be a good one. I'm feeling it, and may I say, Lester, if you haven't, I suggest you think about it, because you can feel it.
I can feel the power. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Photo number 2, we're now inside the bakery, and we find steroid-infused mutated grapes. Perhaps I'm over-exaggerating the fact that they were injected with steroids. They probably weren't, Lester, because that's probably illegal. But mother of God, look at the size of those green grapes. I feel a promo coming on, but the promo shouldn't be for the grapes. It should have been for the idiots reversing into the parking spots. Are you with me, friends? I promise you now and forever. Lester, are you listening? Make a mental note and a physical note over there. Next time we talk about reversing into a spot, I will turn it into a grand promo, the likes of which Macho Man Randy Savage will bestow upon me something greater than an honorary Academy Award for all-around greatness from the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences.
I wonder if he'd take on the challenge.
Sure, come on down.
All right, I ain't too far from you.
Good, come on down.
I'm serious.
Yeah, come on
If
down.
y'all take on challenges, 'cause I like to challenge you.
Yeah, come on down.
Huh?
Come on down. Yeah. Come on down.
Okay? You got me? Oh yeah, you got me. Okay, we're done with the grapes. Photo number 3, we're at the grocery store with Johnny, and if you look up carefully, imported biscuits. You know, sometimes when you're in the grocery store and a rather large item like a soup or a cereal or pasta is not on one of the aisles when it should be, you understand what I'm saying? But they got enough real estate on there for imported biscuits. Lester, these photos are getting me agitated, but it's all for the friends, and they're enjoying all of this, okay? That was number 3. I'm following along with my details here. Photo number 4, and we're gonna zoom in because we got to. This is a lovely woman wearing a hat that perhaps she stole from Nikolai Volkov and or Boris Zukov. She was standing in this parking spot, directing traffic, I believe bringing her hubby over to the spot. Can we zoom in closer on that hat? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now we're gonna bring it down where this doesn't agitate me. This, let me give you a brief description. My mother had a famous saying whenever we thought that she should maybe visit the doctor. Her expression was, "I'm strong, I'm Scottish." Now, that was funny at certain points, but don't get me wrong, if Lynn Riddell had to go to the doctor, she went to the doctor, guys. Don't think that that wasn't the case. Anywho, while Mom was in the hospital, that's what I was kind of alluding to in previous episodes. Mom was in the hospital when I was filming episode 56, and when I was putting together episode 57, that's why obviously I wasn't. Anywho, this sign was put up above her bed in the hospital, and let's read along. "I'm strong, I'm Scottish," direct quote, Lynn Riddell. The nurses really got a kick out of that. So, that's how we're gonna finish. Let's go through my camera roll. From me screaming and yelling at idiots to a lovely picture to end it, guys. That was Let's Go Through My Camera Roll. I've simmered down a bit.
Hogan's been lucky so far.
Lester, it's not just talking, what did he say? I feel like I'm talking to a wall. I believe that was the quote. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm referring to Ray, of course, guys. I believe the quote was, every time I come in here, I feel like I'm talking to the wall. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm exaggerating. I believe it was I'm talking to the wall. Getting to my point, pushing forward, hand gestures and all. Ray not only comes with, I dare not say ramblings when he goes on about the Constitution. He has concerns about his community. It's not just, I'm going to talk about whatever I want in the Constitution and you can't make me stop talking. There is some of that. But he comes with concerns over the infrastructure of his community and those that live in it. And let me say, friends, 2 words, okay? Lester, 2 words. Drainage ditch. It's time for Ray.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city.
What drainage ditch are you referring to,
On
Raymond?
Lord's Court and Phelps Street.
North Court and Phelps Street.
Yeah, the 300 block of Phelps Street and Lord's Court.
Did we get a response on that yet?
No, that was sent down. No response yet.
They went out and they looked at it, but they never fixed it. And it flooded.
Friends, it's been a while since you sat co-pilot with me while I drove, past tense, while I drive. It's been a while since you
Struggling.
Guys, it's time for Driving with Colin. It's been a while since we've seen me get mad at every single driver in the city of Mississauga and or Oakville and surrounding areas, otherwise known as the GTA, Greater Toronto Area, for those not around here. So let's see what kind of clips we have for Driving with Colin.
Everybody knows that the days are low.
You did it!
Everybody knows that the days are low.
Wow. Yup. Same thing, dude.
Everybody knows that the days are low.
This is the most vicious I have ever seen Hulk Hogan in the ring.
Friends, could have done that before we started. Does that count as a fiddle? Friends, in honor of the Queen Mother of Canada, aka Lynn Riddell, aka Mom, this week's clip of the week will be one of Queen Mother of Canada, Lynn Riddell, aka Mom. As most people, maybe not most people, but most people have a river somewhere near their town. And for me, it is no different. The river in my city is called the Credit River. I'll let the applause die down. And I'll cough, Lester. And there is a certain area of the Credit River where you can go and birds will land in your hand and receive bird seed. So, fun fact about Lynn Riddell, she was a lover of animals, not just children and everything else under the sun, but she loved animals. So when she heard that there was an opportunity for a bird to land in her hand and feed out of her hand, she was all systems go, and Colin, take me there now. That was a couple of years ago, I believe, but we went there and there was footage filmed of her awaiting the bird to land in the hand. And what you will see here is Mom attempting the bird landing on the hand, at the same time being stung by a bee and or hornet and or wasp. I don't know. I don't even know if all three of those sting, Lester, but she was bitten by something in her upper thigh region. We won't go any further than that. And she loves this clip enough that she sent it to a lot of her friends. And truth be told, she probably, I don't know if she would want me to show this if she was here, but in her honor, if I said, Mom, I gotta show something, she would want me to show this. So I think Mom would give the okay in this scenario. So we're gonna see Mom getting bitten by a bee, hornet, or wasp, whichever it was, we'll never know. And then finally, I believe I have video footage of the bird finally landing on her hand and feeding. So here's Mom for this week's clip of the week.
When things aren't going my way,
I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
Oh, Jesus. No, something was biting me right there.
If the object was to get as close to your hand as possible, you'd be the champion of the universe.
Oh, Jesus.
If you say you got stung by a bee again, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, not bad.
This is the introduction to Gorilla Monsoon quote of the week.
Did you see that? Couldn't see it from our vantage point. Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
Unloading with the heavy artillery.
What a cheap shot on the part of Champion Hogan.
3 weeks, friends. 3 weeks. The poll has been up for 3 weeks. Votes, not even in the double-digit category, Lester. 9 votes. Results are next. Friends, it's time for Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Show and Tell. Full title. Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, before I turn to the right, as you know I do, you need to know what's on the line. You need to know what type of gold we're fighting for here, folks, okay? And again, this is not an old WWF World Tag Team Championship belt missing one of the WWF symbols. It's not. It's the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Show and Tell Weekly World Championship title. I'm going to forget that next week, Lester, so note that. Itch the nose. Now, we can turn to the right, as I do, and look at the final standings. With a voting of 5 votes to 4, your champion remains champion. The Swedish chef gets to wrap this around his waist for yet another week. I'm not going to look back because that just takes too much time. Lester, if you want, you can. Itch the nose again. I think this is the longest reigning champion in Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Show and Tell Weekly Poll history. We're talking Hulk Hogan in the 80s, level title reign. Hulk Hogan's title reign in the 80s. I know. Let's get to it though. I don't even have it. I was so worried about having the gold present away from the background to the foreground that I forgot to move over the new challenger. So Lester, if we could just hold on a moment. And we're back. The challenger is now below, and I will raise him up momentarily. He's one of the newer characters in the Muppet universe. He was the host, and to my knowledge, no, the host, that's enough. Let's get to it. Guys, it's Clifford, okay? For those of you who watched the comeback show Muppets Tonight, circa early 2000s, you will know that Clifford was introduced then. I shall read the back. Clifford, as seen on Muppets Tonight, job host of Muppets Tonight, special talents, glockenspiel, getting down with his bad self, likes, funk, fashion, and fine, fine women. Paula Abdul, are you listening? Dislikes, anyone who disses Paula Abdul, and light FM radio. Okay, I'm going to tell you what he comes with. He comes with the clapboard, cell phone, microphone, sunglasses, director's chair, and figure bass. Forgive the glare. I'm trying not to hit you with the glare. This is the challenger. That is the champion. And if I haven't already shown this 800 times, this is what they are fighting for. You need to vote now, you need to get it into double digits, and you need to blow my mind and get it into the 20s. Because then I'll know, okay? Then I'll know. So far, it's been a while since we gained some new viewers, but I got a few tricks up my sleeve. That was this week's Show and Tell Challenger, and that was the results of 3 weeks ago's Show and Tell poll. Fabulous exit, Lester. Just cut it.
Those blows seem to have no effect on Hogan.
That is just too low. That's too low. So, Lester, I'm gonna have to fiddle. Okay. Now, guys, this has been a pretty special episode, all things considered. I think we've done a good job, Lester. I think I've kept it together. I've held it together. Not to be too dramatic. That was unnecessary. So what I'm getting to, friends, is the bloopers. There's probably some, Lester. You would know better than I, although I am the one in front of the camera screwing up, so I should know better than you. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't plan ahead. You guys know that, but always, we don't plan ahead. But you know what we do? We push forward, Lester, and we let the friends know that I'm going to shut up, Lester's going to roll the bumper, and then you're going to see the bloopers. I'm sure there's some goodies in there. This is me thinking, should we keep this? What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing? Friends, we are going to hit record once. We are not going to re-record and re-record. Yeah, no, we're gonna hit record multiple times. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, well, look at that. Look at that. That's a good way to start the jokes and the. Okay, to continue. So, in that amount of time. Friends, I've already brought some over from the left. That's a paltry way to start. Let's try that again, folks. New York taxi. Friends, no. What's going on in your neck? Anchor people tell you about the news. Inform you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Perhaps, maybe, yeah. He went a little cuckoo politically at the stop. Friends, once did not know. We found what we needed before. Yeah, no. Guys, goodbye. Oh, there it is. I know we'll see you. I know we'll see you. I'm all over the place. Look at the hairline.
If Hogan's smart, he'll make a move to get out of there.
Friends, I don't need. That was pretty loud. Friends. I don't need to tell. I don't even think I can talk like this, Lester. But I'm going to give it a go because we need a lowered tone for this one. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Friends, I don't need to boast and brag. I don't need to shout from the highest mountain that several weeks ago, Tony Danza, myself, and Lester went shopping for a new drop ceiling. You don't need to know that. And I don't need to boast about it. It's nothing to brag. It's nothing to brag about. You don't need to know that I now have an army of celebrity friends. It hurt me just to say celebrity, Lester, because they're not even that anymore. They know. They're just friends. And that list grows and grows. And yes, that's right, grows. Okay? We've added another. And when I say we, I'm looking at that man over there, because he does it all when it comes to the friends that were once celebrities, that are merely now just friends. It's time for this week's sponsor. And I'll brag about this. This one's a biggie. if we have to bring celebrity into it, this is a biggie. Guys, it's time for this week's sponsor. Tony Danz and I went shopping for a drop ceiling. Lester drove.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
Wesley, what have you got there?
Your diary. I got it out of your room.
You know better than to go into someone's room without their permission.
Why?
Everyone needs his or her own private space. And we must respect other people's belongings if we want them to do the same for us.
Well, if I can't read your diary, can I read Heather's?
Absolutely not. Her privacy is every bit as important as yours or mine.
Then I guess I better put this back.
Friends, Lester, I want to thank you the most. And no one is higher than you this week, my friend. Okay? I usually thank you and then thank myself. Sometimes thank myself twice after thanking you once. But I'm going to tell you one thing, and it's going to turn into two things. Thank you, Lester. And secondly, thank you, Lester. Friends, you loved hearing his voice for the very first time, but I think, Lester, we're going to go back to how it was. You don't need to be hearing his voice every week. Guys, the star of the program is me. But I will say this, the star of this week's program, if it wasn't Queen Mother of Canada, as it should have been, it was. Queen Mother of Canada, top billing in this one, Lester. I'm sorry, you know that. But second billing has to go to you, my friend. For the lovely introduction that you did on my behalf to this week's program, and just the all-around, behind-the-scenes things that you do as my producer and my buddy. Lester, I thank you for a third time. 3 thank yous. Sometimes I do this, but most of the time I do that. 3 thank yous, Lester. Lynn Riddell, top billing. Lester, second billing. In addition to 3 thank yous, and then we'll thank Colin from Canada at the bottom. Then the friends. Okay, I won't go over it again. They heard what the order was. Friends, thank you for viewing, as always. If you've come to this point in the episode, you've been arm in arm with me for quite possibly over 1 hour. And I thank you. We're back. We're better than ever. We are. I've got ideas. Things are coming, guys. We got places to visit. I got a couple of ideas in the noodle. We can't just do the same thing every week, although we do. But I like to mix it up in certain areas. You like that move? Okay. We're going to shut it, Lester. That's how I usually stop these goodbyes. But first, the pepperettes are a firm $12. There is no haggling. One last time. Die Paperette seinen Steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy.